Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. I'm joined once again by Kat from the Light and Fright podcast as we discuss The Conjuring Last Rites, directed by Michael Chavez. Paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren take on one last terrifying case involving mysterious entities they must confront. Welcome back, Kat. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me. It's always a
Uh,
pleasure, Colin.
Always a lot of fun. Okay, so I suppose the first question is this the last one? Do you think it's the last one?
I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Why would you do that?
You go to Kinder Cash Guy? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, no. Show me the money. Just keep it coming.
um, there's definitely a passing of the torch in this, but Ed and Lorraine are going to be back. There's no doubts about it.
Absolutely. And I've always loved Patrick Wilson. I think he's an amazing actor.
Yeah, I like the two of them. I like I just for premise, I know nothing about the actual Ed and Lorraine Warren. I just don't get into that stuff.
Hmm.
But I just like these two, the way they portray the characters. There's something wholesome about them, and I think we need that today because there's too much TV type drama in movies and everyone getting torn down and at each other's throats instead of just dealing with the entity. If that makes sense.
Yes, no, definitely. There's definitely you feel that they're real people, that the dynamics are very genuine.
Yeah, and that's it. And they're a team, they're a couple, they're a family, and then everything they deal with is external rather than bringing this stupid drama in that just convolutes the story and gets in the
Hmm.
way. So,
Just for the purpose of having drama. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we must have some because reasons. Yeah.
Hmm.
How clever I am. As you write your script in crayon, those sort of people. No, I genuinely enjoy these. I've just the Nun 2 I didn't enjoy as much. And I think one of the Annabelle movies, I thought they're just trying too hard, with the spin-offs. But the
Hmm.
actual Conjuring series,
Yes.
yeah, just they're simple, fair, that's it.
Yeah, the animals creep me out just because dolls creep me out in general.
I don't like dolls either. That's the only thing that ever gets to me, or creepy doll. Like, do you know the old
Mhm.
porcelain ones that people use for lanterns and all now? Put light bulbs inside.
Yeah,
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 that's
that's creepy.
yeah, that works though. That's
This one had a creepy doll too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that was like a play on Annabelle? Like, oh, here's another creepy doll, or is it just because people play with dolls back then?
I
That
think
that
it's
is
because of the time there were a lot of dolls. I don't, because I kind of grew up in that time. I don't remember that type of doll, but maybe I just, it looked pricey because it was all motorized, so
Mhm.
I probably couldn't afford one or any of my friends. That's probably why I never like saw that particular doll.
Yeah. Got like 8 people living in a house and that, and then
Mhm.
yeah, you just
And
wonder how they
they
can afford stuff like that, like proper, like fancy toys sort of thing. At
Yeah.
least the doll wasn't possessed. I like the fact that it wasn't possessed. We're not getting a regurgitation of previous tropes.
Mhm.
It was just a device that the demon was using.
Yeah. It was still very creepy, but without, all the jump scares that are necessary at this point because we know some real shit's gonna go down and yeah.
This was a clever story. My complaint about the original Conjuring was it just felt like it dragged on, and then everything got wrapped up the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Mhm.
Where this felt like there's like a proper plot that came back to the beginning. So I like that a bit of clever storytelling.
Absolutely. I mean, there was the kind of the ominous of the very beginning of like, kind of what may happen in the situation. And then we get into the other family and the dynamic between that family is just chaos. But that's how it is when you have 8 people living under one roof. Like,
I would be
no.
swinging from something. No, no, no. Sorry.
And then we bring in this mirror, right? What did you think of that mirror when you first saw that
So
thing?
when the first encountered the mirror, the Warrens, that was their sort of first case. So I like the fact first case, last case, like it's
Mm.
full circle. It's a simple trope, but done well and clever storytelling. So it made sense with the first family being there and what they encountered, and the fact that it was the rain woke up the demon, and angered it, and then it targeted her while she was pregnant. Because going ghost hunting while you're pregnant is really sensible, isn't it?
Yeah, and touching a mirror when you know you're psychic. Like any psychic I've ever heard talk, like mirrors and reflections are not good for them. They're conduits to the spirits. Why are you gonna be like, let me poke the bear?
Yep. I the only movie that made me leery of mirrors was Prince of Darkness, like because I watched that as a kid. It's yes, I know it's funny. You look at we revisited about a
Hmm.
year and a half or something ago, and yes, it's staffed. But at the time, I was like thorn high kid. First, one of my first like proper horror movies that was Nightmare on Elm Street. And yeah, that freaked me out. That
Yeah.
ending scene, it worked, and I've always been leery of mirrors since. And like, oh my god, Salem's Lot. You know what I mean? That was not the one that had the mirror in it. No, it was a
I'm
window
not
scene.
sure.
There's another Stephen King one that featured a mirror. I can never remember the movie, but it was the vampire one.
Mm.
The vampire appears in mist.
I'm always weary of mirrors
Yeah,
because it's like usually they'll see something in the mirror, then they turn around and it's not there, and you're like,
yep.
wait.
So horror trope 101: do not poke the mirror. Stay
Hmm.
away from the mirror. Um, Once again, the cinematography in this is really good.
You
Uh,
felt like you were in that time.
mhm.
Even the camera work and everything was just the colorist did a great job also.
Yep, and the thing with this demon is he basically makes people hang themselves. That's it. Gets in their head, twists them, and yeah, makes them commit suicide. So the antique shop owner, and once again, horror 102. Don't mess with antique shops. Like 90% of the
Mhm.
stuff's cursed. Wise up.
Ooh, you just mentioning that made
Yeah,
me made me realize something in the beginning with it was making the baby kill itself, wrapping the cord around its neck.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
nice.
Because that's the demon. Yeah.
That's its whole thing. It likes
Mhm.
that. Nice.
Demons are my favorite monster because they're intelligent
Mhm.
and they actually take, what I mean, they're a pure evil entity and they take joy in what they do. And I just think that every time a demon's depicted, it just brings something to the screen. You get a character, if that makes sense, as opposed
Mhm.
to face, soundless, faceless person wearing a mask doing things for the plot as opposed to actually any reason.
And it's so unpredictable. You never know, like, what they're capable of. And
Hmm.
in this situation, some of the stuff that it was doing was crazy. Like, the it's and after it's been destroyed even, you're like, "Wait."
Is it really gone? It would just
Mhm.
sort of stay in your head. But yeah, like you're saying, that we meet the bird in the first case. That obviously the owner of the antique store succumbed to it. The daughter's trying to, just get on with life after the devastation and the deal with this thing. I don't understand why they bought it. The Smurls bought it. I don't get the connection. That's like a major like what? Like super religious family getting orgasmic about what's that first communion confirmation thing? Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah, here's your creepy mirror.
yeah, and then here's the creepy dark gothic mirror to this devout Christian family. Okay,
And
that
it's
that works.
broken,
Yeah,
but
it
grandpa's gonna fix it.
he didn't though.
No.
That's the only bit where like you just feel the plot getting shoehorned in. It's like why not just make the mirror a bit inconspicuous and maybe change,
Mhm.
or would that have there would have been enough budget for that? Have like a white angelic one, then it goes dark. That I don't know. That's the only sort of bit that it doesn't fit with that family. and it doesn't fit with the
Mhm.
girl. It's like just such a random purchase.
Yep, maybe it hypnotized him. It was like, "Take me home." I don't
Mhm.
know what they were looking like,
Do you
"I'll
think
be
do
perfect."
you think we needed a scene like that? Do you think we maybe needed the scene with the grandparents buying the mirror?
I maybe.
How
Maybe there was and it had to be edited out.
mm, yeah, that's like honestly, that's the only bit that made me scratch my head because the rest of the movie, it didn't feel too long either. I know it's 2 hours, but I was going along with it and just enjoying myself. So it didn't feel like it was just padding time out. You know, there's
Mhm.
plenty going on and enough character scenes.
Maybe they all I can think is maybe they didn't want us to put it together just yet. The whole demon's goal, like what the demon actually wanted. I think
Mm,
maybe if we knew why the mirror wanted to be with this family, maybe that would have hinted us onto it. I don't know.
mm, who knows? Yeah, that's it's one of them things. Just
I'm naturally suspect
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Just obviously it wasn't the grandparents. Maybe they didn't realize themselves why they bought it. It's one of those. Did we really just buy that? Okay. We get introduced to God. What's his name? Judy's boyfriend,
Is that Tony?
Tony. Yes.
Ben Hardy
Yeah.
is
So
Tony.
it's Ed's 50th, and this is telegraphed a bit. Obviously, he's got a dicky heart because of previous shenanigans,
Mhm.
and I think it was a bit of a misdirect as well as telegraphing that he's going to have a heart attack at some point in this movie, and I think they were maybe trying to set us up that it was going to finish him off.
Yep.
I think they were trying to lead us that down that rabbit hole
Mhm.
because it's the whole scene with the doctor. You know, you can't have another one. That's gotta look after
Yeah.
yourself. And I wasn't too sure what to think of Tony's character when he first arrived.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure about him either. He just seemed a little off.
Mm,
But then we find out later what his situation was as to why he doesn't work for the police anymore,
yeah,
which is interesting.
yeah, and legitimate too. Like
Mhm.
that, it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Um, I think I'm naturally worried because of modern storytellers, like current people that write for Hollywood. Once again, it's this stupid, pointless drama that they try to put in and just overcomplicate stories. I was worried they were going to make Tony to be like some sort of fanboy who's actually only using Judy to get in with the Warrens. Do you know what I mean? Like when he first
Yeah,
arrived at the
no,
house,
I
I'm
get
like,
you.
I was just like, oh, please don't do that. Oh, don't
No,
do it. No,
it wouldn't have made any sense for the universe at all, I don't
no,
think.
but writers today are stupid. You know, that they think that's clever and they derail their own stories. Like it's happened loads of times and things, but I I think because James Wan keeps a tight rein on the actual Conjuring movies, the main storyline, maybe not so much with the spin-offs,
Mhm.
but I think he has a personal investment in these being a certain way. And I like James Wan as a storyteller. I know he's principally
Me
a director,
too.
but he does have a lot of investment, personal investment in this universe. So I think he keeps a tight ship and doesn't let it go off the rails. So yeah, at the start we're a bit suspicious. We don't know what to make of him. He's a new character. We don't know how much he knows or doesn't know, if that makes sense, about the Warrens and what
Mhm.
they do. But yeah, I liked at the end of the day, his character came through, made perfect sense, and he became part of the family. So I was happy with that. You know, like I said, I'm sick of this stupid trope of
Mhm.
internal strife just for the sake of it. I like some good old fashioned storytelling of here's the evil entity, here's the good people coming against it. You know, that's it.
Mhm.
Doesn't need anything else if you tell that story right.
And I thought it was interesting how the mom was teaching the daughter to deal with her powers, her psychic abilities like her mom, and then she's pretty much telling her to block it out, and I'm wondering, is that what you do? I don't think that's what she does. So that was just kinda odd to me.
But that got paid off. That actually got. If you think about the scene in the maternity ward, the fact that nearly lost her, and the overprotection, that traumatic event, and the fact that Valak has came for a couple of times now.
Mhm.
Um,
And they
there,
stopped working completely
yep.
so that they didn't have to worry about any issues.
I think that's a problem because you don't. These aren't pumped out every year. No, it's a couple of years between each of the episodes. Is that the chapters? I mean, the installments of the franchise.
Whatever.
Yeah, if I could just find the right words here, but they don't rush themselves to pump these out. So unless you like go back and watch every movie, it's
Mhm.
sometimes you go, "What happened in the last one?"
Right.
And I'm
Like,
sure you're
where
well aware as a reviewer, that was like 5,000 movies ago.
Yeah, and then there's, a prequel to this one and a prequel to that one. They're all out of order and kinda mumbo
Hmm.
jumbled.
Yeah, I don't think the spin-offs and the prequels have helped. I think that's the. I know they're desperate to create like a universe, etc., but I think they might have the other episodes, like the main, like I said, I like the main Conjuring titles.
Mhm.
I'm happy to stick with those, but like some of the stuff feels like trying too hard, and yeah, they're actually maybe damaging the main story.
I was surprised to find that they had done so many cases. That was just crazy. When I think it was Tony asked how many cases, and he said about it, what was it, 1,000?
Yeah,
That's that just seems like a lot of cases.
but if that's a lifetime's work, and how long do they really spend at each location? I think that's a time thing, isn't it? Is this over the space of a
Mhm.
week? Is it over the space of 4 days? Does everything pay off? Does everything lead to an entity, or do they disprove?
True. Yeah. Or
There's
some of them are just, like, not dedicated ghosts. They're just like, "Okay, we'll go.
yeah, that's what I
Peace
mean.
out."
Not everything. This is like a main battle, but not every case to deal with might be that. But that's. I suppose if that's what you dedicate your life to. It was interesting to see in university. So they're trying to move on and give lectures, but nobody's interested because they're not investigating anymore. They're not the
Yeah.
cool kids. They're not involved in this. I was interested in the Ghostbusters reference that Ghostbusters came out that year.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely Ghostbusters time.
That movie changed everything. That was a cultural icon. I don't know if they intended to be that, but when that movie came out, yeah, there was nothing like it.
Mhm. And
And
it was scary too. It had a lot of terrifying things. While going back and watching it now, I'm like, "I can't believe I watched this as a kid."
it was never meant to be a kids' movie. That was the thing.
Yep.
It was an adult movie. That was, what I mean.
Mhm. That turned
So
into a cartoon.
yeah, brilliant. They'll never be able to replicate that. That's what annoys me about studios. They get lightning in the bottle one time, then they go, "Oh, let's beat this horse to death." And yeah,
Mhm.
I still didn't bother watching the other one, the latest one.
It was pretty good with the kids in it. I liked it. I thought it was good. It was a little too much, with, I mean, it's sad that the actual actor passed, that played Egon,
Oh, Harold
but,
Ramis, yeah. I watched
yeah,
Afterlife because that was a tribute to
okay,
Harold Ramis. That's
okay.
that's why I watched that one, but I didn't watch the one after that.
Was there one after that?
Yeah, the Frozen Empire or something.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah, that was pretty good. It was pretty good, but
I
it
thought,
wasn't as good as that other one,
mhm.
the first remake
Yeah, I think
of the
Afterlife
remake.
just because. Yeah, no, it wasn't a
What is
remake. It
it?
was
Remake, reboot? No, I'm just kidding. No, it was a prequel. It was after. I mean,
No,
I
it's
was
just
like,
a sequel.
actually,
Yeah,
yeah, a
just a
sequel.
sequel. Yeah.
That's the term.
Hmm. Yeah. Do you remember it
There's
just
so
used to be
many.
sequels and that was it? Yeah. The story
There's so
continued.
Yeah, there's so many now. There's like prequel, reboot.
Oh god. Um, I'm going through Alien Earth at the moment. I hate my life.
Love it. I love it.
Really?
Yes. What's wrong with Alien Earth?
They're dumb.
They're dumb. Of course they're dumb.
They're
The
not meant to be
scientists
dumb.
are the scientists are always dumb.
They're
The
not meant.
smartest people do the dumbest shit in movies. You're not used to this?
Yeah, it's like when everyone lists off their PhDs, okay, right, dumb time.
Hmm.
Prince of Darkness once again. You know what I mean? There's 5 minutes. Everyone listening off. I've got blah 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 blah.
Yeah, the best actors is Timothy Oliphant
Kirsch,
as a synthetic, and then the cyborg
who's more
guy.
advanced than
He's amazing. I like the dynamic between them both. I'm like, yes, they're gonna battle and it's gonna be epic.
okay, each their own. I'm just like, nah. Just I'm done with that. And they're overwriting Alien. You know what I mean? They just come back. At least the Conjuring's carrying on. It's not you can ignore the spin-offs and just stick to the main storyline and just
Hmm.
ignore the rest if you want. I think that's what I like about this. Or you can go full in and get involved in everything. You've got the choice there.
Hmm.
Um, the releasing of the demon. I actually really like this scene, the setup. Um, the girls are stuck with this mirror, don't want it, and they want to sort of sneak it out of the house. And that's it just seemed innocent enough, but it just the way they set it up, that goes into the rubbish, the bin lorry, and the crushing of it releases the spirit, and then it gets revenge on the older sister.
Hmm. And now apparently it's free to roam because it takes out the priest too. It's just everywhere. It could just go wherever the hell it wants.
but that, but that I think that helps as well because it can go anywhere it wants, but it's got a plan.
Hmm. It's on a mission.
Yeah.
A mission from Satan, not God.
Well, the enemy's dedicated to you. Do you know what I mean?
I guess.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I like about demons is they're not just mindless creatures. They've actually got purpose and a proper antagonist. And if it's done right, I don't like a lot of exorcism movies because they're just rinse and repeat. Defrocked priest who's lost his faith meets this case and re-finds his faith at the last minute. Blah 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 blah, over and
Hmm.
over. But I do like demons because they've got something a bit more to them, and you
And a
can
lot
go
of
into the
times they have
motivations.
style.
Hmm.
They got style too. And charisma.
Yeah, and that's charisma goes a long way because
Mhm.
how do they get followers? How do they corrupt people? You can't corrupt somebody unless you've got a bit of style about you and panache. You can't just use the hammer all the time. The stick, it has to be the carrot. And entice people.
Mhm. Gotta keep them wanting more.
Yeah.
Just a little more.
Oh yeah, that was Dawn. He just the scene with her just coughing up the shards of mirror was brilliant.
I didn't think she would make it.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I thought she was done. But here's
And
the thing: are there? I think there are rules, though. Do you know why they're like transcending the plane into the earthly realm? I don't think a demon can actually physically kill someone. I think there's like a limit. Anything you see with demons, apart from like Argento's, but then
yeah.
he just does slashers anyway. But um, mostly there's rules. The human has to kill themselves or harm themselves by being driven insane. So they can hurt them, they can break bone, they can smash things, but I don't think a demon's actually allowed to physically just kill someone.
Mhm. They prey on the weakness. They prey on your, they find out where your weaknesses are. and
Hmm.
then they just seep in slowly, like a frog being boiled in a pot while it doesn't jump out.
Yep.
It's just slow and steady, and then it just takes you over.
Yep. Because if you go right back to The Exorcist itself, Reagan's character, any harm she did to herself, and the whole point was to break down their family. And then, Godfather, the one that jumped out the window, because the older one had the heart attack, but that
Uh-huh.
was the demon couldn't do that directly. I mean, that had to be the stress, and then the other father had to basically kill himself by jumping out the window.
Mhm.
So it can't do it. And same with in this. It can't kill Dawn. It can hurt her. It can go to a certain level, but has to keep her alive. She would be the one that would have to do it. And I just think that brings a level of storytelling. It's something to play with. When you have rules in places you can't go, you can't just be carte blanche. You have to get people invested in.
Mhm, there has to be some hope of survival, of escape.
Hmm.
But it was looking pretty bleak there. I thought somebody was gonna get it.
But it's Bloomhouse. Let's be honest. Bloomhouse is like the starter. You know what I mean? It's like entry level for horror fans.
Mhm,
They are they're for the young adult audience. That's their sort of thing, and I appreciate what they do. They're getting younger people into the horror genre, and they're not doing torture porn or things like that. Um, but they're letting people appreciate horror, just scary stories. Things that
mhm.
we enjoyed and got us into this genre.
Exactly, it's very character driven, and I like that.
Yeah, and I love Vera Farmiga. I I need to see what else she's been in. I know she's got her music and stuff, and that's what she's concentrating on. But I'd like to see her in something else just to see what her range is as an actress.
Mhm.
Because we've seen Patrick Wilson loads of stuff. I mean, he's the veteran at this point, but
Yeah,
she hasn't been in that much.
probably
But
because she's so busy doing Conjuring movies.
well, it's only done the four. But I once again, but then she's embodied this character. I can't see it. Could you see any other actors playing Lorraine Warren?
Probably not.
What I mean, she's taken this role and made it her
Mhm.
own. That I could not even playing a younger Lorraine. I couldn't see it. It just wouldn't work. Uh, I think we're getting telegraphed that Tony and Judy are going to be the next Ed and Lorraine. I think that's been sort of set up
Yeah,
throughout the whole movie.
think they're prepping it.
Hmm. Although Tony needs to sort them clip-on ties. Like, what's that about? Like, if you can't tie a tie, like, what are you doing? How are you going to fight demons?
Right.
Dear. But all in all, this is a trap. This Smurl family is bait for the Warrens to bring them out of retirement, to bring them back, and not even for them, but they want Judy. It was denied its prize when they first encountered the Warrens, and it's this demon is vengeful. It doesn't take defeat very well. Um, I suppose it makes sense. If you're like a eternal entity, thousands of years old, what's a few decades setting up a
Right.
plan?
You got time to wait.
Yeah, that's a blink in the eye. You know, the entity they got. So I just like the way it was just all a setup. I think we knew it was like there's nothing really surprising in this, is there?
I don't think so.
Like there's no plot twists, so there's no gotchas that you didn't see coming. But once again, I don't mind because it's an enjoyable story. So I don't mind when I can see how it's going to play out.
I agree. It didn't, it didn't have any like real scares or anything like that. Just a lot of creepiness,
Hmm.
like with the hand over the daughter's shoulder. That was just kind of eerie. But the characters and their how much they cared for each other and for what they were doing. That's what made it a really good movie.
Hmm. And that's another thing I'm supposed to bring up. The child actors were competent and actually enjoyable to watch. No way normally child actors, you're like, oh god, no.
Yeah.
This lot, it reminded me of Poltergeist.
Yes. Absolutely.
It just reminded me of the family just all together and under pressure. And once again, we don't have this nonsense of them all turn at each other. Yeah, the sisters, but that's sisters anyway. Siblings, always poking at each other. But when it came down to it, they
Yeah.
were a family unit. And yeah, it's just nice to see that and just focus on the actual entity and the horror of it, and not be distracted.
And the reality of it, they can't afford to go anywhere else.
Hmm.
They have to stay there. They have nowhere else to go. I mean, that would definitely be our situation when I was a kid. If we had a ghost, we'd have to play along.
Yeah, because you just come up sticks and go move somewhere else. Because yeah, or can we stay in a hotel for it? Yeah, that's going to be a wee bit expensive. Like,
Mhm.
um, what I don't. The only unbelievable part is that attic. So they've a family of 8, and they've got that space, and they haven't used it and turned it into another room or something.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
kind of unexpected. And they had a lot of stuff up there too. And to just like have boards, but not enough boards to be really sufficient
Yeah,
across things.
that was one of the first things I did when I had my attic. Was just get all the
Mhm.
boards down, all interlocking, because nothing worse than the thought of stepping through, because that's plastering your ceilings expensive. So you don't want to be putting your foot through it. Never mind falling.
And then there's a ghost in the house and you're going up in the attic alone and not telling anyone. With the mom does it and the daughter do it. I'm like, Why?"
Yeah, but I suppose we'll have to have we'll have to have a
Yeah.
bit of silliness.
Mhm.
Maybe
So
enough
we
for
can
them to
all go,
comprehend it.
"Why are you doing that?"
Yep. Like, would it be a horror movie if you're not shaking your fist, going, "What are you doing?"
Probably not.
That's all a part of it. It's like, what are you, Howard? What are you doing? Don't do that, silly fool. And once again, that's the joy of going to the cinema, I think, and seeing people experiencing horror movies for the first time, or maybe not. It's their first time going to the cinema to see a horror movie and remembering what it was like and why we love the genre. Because
Yes, absolutely.
it's too easy when you've watched like thousands of movies over decades, and then I don't know, it's trying to get that, trying to chase the dragon, is it? Trying to get that fix again.
Yes, yes. I feel that way about Halloween Horror Nights too. Like when I go into haunted houses,
Hmm.
if it doesn't have quite the scare unless I'm with other people, and seeing them get more terrified scares me.
Yeah,
Like
you have to
someone
feed off that
screams.
energy, don't you? You become like a
Yes.
psychic vampire, don't you?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
we're like ghouls. The old horror fans come in and go, feed us.
Yes, your terror, give it.
Yeah, I think this is you need to go to cinema to see these movies. That's the whole point. If you're like an experienced horror aficionado, yeah, connoisseur,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, fan,
Connoisseur either,
yeah.
yeah.
Don't watch this at home. Go to cinema.
Enthusiast.
Yep, all them words.
Yes, yes.
Yep, you need to go and get the group experience. That's what makes this worthwhile. Just that remembering what it was like when you first saw them and just seeing that energy. It's great. Another thing as well. What's this done now? Like 800 million. It's not too far off it.
Maybe.
Like once again, horror has make it horror's making money when other genres are falling flat in their face.
Yep. And
Oh,
that's why they're putting out some of the older movies. They're doing re-releases in the theaters. I just saw The Thing,
oh,
John
cool.
Carpenter's. It was awesome. It was so much fun seeing it with people, and even though you knew certain scares were coming up, hearing someone scream, it
Yeah,
just
and then
made it.
plus being in the big how do you? Um, yeah, we are getting the Conjuring series. I haven't heard much more about it. Just that it's in development. They're not letting this right. This is not the last of the Conjuring series. No way.
No, no, I don't think so at all.
Because Bloomhouse still have to pay that 350 million back for the Exorcist series that they splurged up the wall. So they
Oof.
need to make some money.
Yeah.
But there's something satisfying in the fact that only movies making money over the last 5 years are horror movies, and I just think it's glorious.
Definitely. And it's great, it's bringing people back to the theater, and that's what's important, We don't want our theaters to just disappear and be gone like the drive-ins, and if we don't get people to go to the theater anymore, then that's sadly what may happen
Mm-hmm.
with everything just streaming and people staying at home, and we're social beings. We need to be
Yep.
together at some point. I know a lot of us are like, get away from me. I can be that way sometimes too, but
Oh, trust me, I'm the biggest misanthrope in history. Like I get peopled out very, very easily, and it's just like, no, leave me alone. But no, it's we
hmm
need to interact, and we need to. It's nice to know as well, especially as a horror fan. It's so easy to feel on the fringe, isn't it?
hmm
It's so easy to feel like you're that weirdo and you don't fit in and you don't have your tribe. So going to the cinema is a big thing of, oh, I'm not alone. Yes, other people enjoy this. Because it's okay seeing figures and screen, oh, it made so many, blah, 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 blah. You need to go see a full auditorium. You need to go see it absolutely packed and you need to feel that excitement.
Absolutely. And even now, all the stores are putting out all the Halloween stuff, and I'm out and about filming stuff, posting it
Hmm.
up, and sure enough, here are my fellow people among me,
Yeah.
ooh, shopping for stuff. So you can definitely see and meet your other fellow horror fans in that capacity, at least this time of year.
Yeah, that's it. And even the tourists, the ones that come in once
Mhm.
a year, it's like, yeah, come on along for the ride. We have such sights to show you. Ha 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 ha.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Um, I like the way they made this as media circus as well. That was so 80s. That thing, like people
Yes.
wouldn't blink an eye now, but that was like TV cameras and stuff out, and yeah, and
Yeah. There was things were spread by word of mouth. There was and the television, there was no YouTube, there was no posting things, there was no social media, they were out on their porch. What's going on? Why are the
mhm,
cops there?
yeah.
That's how people found out everything. Even though they still ask about it on Facebook all the time. Hey, guys, you can see those posts. Oh, I saw the cops on whatever this street. Anybody know what's going on? Like, come on, guys. And I love to always go on there, like, post some crazy story about raccoons on crystal meth riding an alligator or some crazy shit. This is what you get. You ask dumb
Yeah, but hold on
questions,
a minute. You live in Florida. That's not Tuesday.
right?
Yeah, that's come on.
Yeah, exactly. You should know why the cops are there,
Yeah, it's
It's
because of
it's
some
it's
idiot.
yeah, it's Cocaine Gator.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, but the whole thing, being a media circus, and then the Warrens arrive, and the fact that they knew them, the media people like knew who they were, and the fact that,
Mhm.
oh, it's on now. The Warrens have arrived. It's like almost
They're
giving
like,
it.
"Oh."
And
I felt
even
like they were getting into the ring,
yeah.
we should have had some, like,
Dun,
"Let's
dun, dun,
get
dun,
ready
dun,
to
dun, dun, dun.
rumble."
Yeah, just the lights come on and the music, and then the Warrens arrive, right?
I thought
Or
it was interesting that they had the bag in the car, in the
mhm.
trunk. I was wondering, is it always in the trunk? Because they claim they weren't there, they were just there to get the daughter. So if they were there to get the daughter, then how come they had the bag in the trunk, or was it just always in the trunk
I
for
I think if you're dedicated to a certain lifestyle and that's it's your calling, I think you're always not going
Ready to
without it.
go.
It's just yeah. I don't
Ready
think you
for
switch
battle.
that off. Yeah.
Like Supernatural, you just pop the trunk and it's just you're good to go.
Hmm.
Demons. Them damn demons. You never know where they're gonna pop up.
Yep. And I just like the way once again, it's just so simple the way the Warrens are portrayed in this. They're just wholesome characters that care about people, that have empathy. And that's part of it. They're in another lifetime, I think they would have been members of a church doing pastoral care if it wasn't for Lorraine's abilities, and actually, you know, it brings a few questions. Religious people, uh, they sort of embrace one side of it, but they don't embrace the other, and the whole thing of, oh well, if one exists, the other does.
We have to have
Uh, uh,
balance, but
yeah, and that's the God exists, but demons don't. But how can how does that work? And the whole denial, it's strange. I never
mhm,
understood that.
me neither.
Um,
I'm all about the yin and yang balance.
mhm,
There has to be an opposite to everything.
yeah. But I think Amityville Horror did it well. When wasn't the first one? Was it the first one? The court that said it was they tried to argue demonic possession,
I think
or was it
so.
or was it one of the sequels? I get those movies.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was a sequel. No, I think it was one of the sequels. They tried to argue in court, and that was a whole thing that
Hmm.
the church wouldn't get involved and stuff. And you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
well, is
that's
this not
right.
your
It
job? Their
was.
whole bread and butter.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just interesting the way one side's embraced and the other's denied, yet it's also preached. So, which is it?
Exactly. It's a lot of times it's just used as a fear tactic, and
Hmm.
and it shouldn't be that way. They wouldn't need to use it as a fear tactic if they were just covering both sides. Yeah,
Yeah. Do these exist? If this exists, this obviously exists. Then just deal with it.
exactly.
Ah well. This doesn't go that deep, by the way. This is just us being nerds.
Mhm.
The movie's straightforward. It's just
That's what we
boom.
do.
Yeah. Overanalyze.
And what really got me is the part where the daughters is starting to have issues, the demons messing with her more and more, which she believes it's ghost. And then she says, I can't talk to her about it. I'm like, she is the only person probably on the damn planet that could help you with this situation. And you're like, I can't talk to her.
But is that once again? Is this? I think this is the full circle storyline because of the
Mhm.
fear. Um.
And typical, mother
Of
daughter
yeah.
dynamic.
Overprotective.
I get it.
Shut it out. Shut it out. I don't want you going through what I went through. When you're lost you once, never again.
Mhm.
And this has been a thing, obviously, but it gets paid off. I like the way it gets paid off though. That they're just trying to deal with the mirror. The mirror's fighting back. Like that scene in the attic actually was great. Just
Mhm.
it's something really simple, wasn't it? The mirror's just
Yeah,
getting heavier.
and there was some good gore with that ankle.
Oh,
Ugh.
that was great. Something once again, think of Misery, the Hoblin scene.
Yes.
That was so simple, but it's effective. Bones snapping, like if you ever had
I
something
couldn't believe he
broken.
could still walk. Like, I thought he was done, like
Mm,
and then he's driving a car, I'm like, "Wait, what?"
was that not? Oh,
The
the father
Tony.
Smurl, yeah. But the father first. I thought they got his ankle broken first. That was so simple.
Yeah, yeah.
On the law, what I mean, he was done. Like he was
Mhm,
hobbling, and that was it.
mhm.
But yeah, Tony getting like the skin removed from him was like, whoa.
Yeah, I swear I saw bone.
Yeah, I think what's awesome, meaty chunks. Some of those.
And that was a heavy duty freaking mirror. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's once again, that was so simple. Like even the effects for that was simple, and I suppose the point I'm trying to make is too many people try to overcomplicate stuff these days, and there's no need. Tell a simple story really well, use the visuals for it, and just get the impact with the characters. And I think this movie shows that. That like, did you think anybody did a bad job acting in this movie?
No, I think everyone did a great job, and that you bring up a good point. Everybody thinks they have to have something spectacular, something amazing, something new, something different to wow audiences, and that's not always the case. Just tell a good story, tell something new, something, legitimate, something that's heartfelt, that's real. That was what 80s horror had, and why the whole family would freaking go to see Ghostbusters, or,
Hmm.
E.T., or some of the other things. They were the characters were real, and you felt like you were part of the family. Right? It's just
Hmm.
very homey, like, oh, let me get some hot cocoa, you roast a marshmallow. It just feels
I may
real.
have chopped some onions before watching ET the first time when I was like 6. There's some onions were chopped at the end of that, and that was like one of the first emotional experiences as a child. I think that ending scene. I think it was Drew Barrymore, at the end. Say goodbye. That was a bit that broke me as a kid. I'm like, bloody hell,
Mhm.
what's? And that's one of the moments you're like, what's going on here? And I think that's when you realize how powerful art is
Yep.
when it's done right and just done with pure intentions of I want you to feel something. I want you to be emotionally invested in the story.
Mhm.
That's what this reminds me of. Just come back to basics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of, and once again, horror is leading the charge because all the other genres are done. Like they're burned to the ground because of stupidity. And at least horror is clever enough because it's always changes, it's always evolving, it's not just stuck in a rut. I think it's too big, uh, a genre, too many subgenres, too much stuff going on that
Mhm.
uh, it doesn't have the luxury of just staying still in the one lane. It's always doing that, but
Exactly.
they have twigged on first. Let's just go back to basics. Let's just tell scary stories again and get people, yeah, in, and the new audience haven't encountered this before, so let's just bring them in and reintroduce them to the scary tales.
Exactly. I mean, that's what got us all loving horror. I mean, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits,
Hmm.
they were just simple stories. They were just stories. They weren't all horrific. Some of them were just thrillers. Some of this is what happens if you do this.
Hmm.
I always love the public service announcement ones. It's like, if you do this, this might happen. Like, don't push your luck. Simple things like that.
Don't inject the super growth hormones into the big spider because guess what happens? You get
Yeah,
munched. I think
yeah,
that was my favorite Twilight Zone episode. Do you
nice.
remember that one? The kids they're trying to one of them, they're trying to find their dad because he'd been experimenting stuff and something.
Yes, yes. I remember that one.
Yeah, yeah.
My favorite, because it's the most horrific to me, is the one with the guy who all he wants to do is read, and his wife is just a real pain in the ass, and then the freaking nuclear war happens. Everybody's gone except for him, and there's tons of books for him to read, and he breaks his glasses,
Oh god, yes.
and he
Or
can't read.
that's it. And there's nobody to get him new
I'm like,
glasses.
no, that would be my luck.
Yeah, but that's once again careful what you wish for. That's one of the
Exactly.
oldest tropes. Or the black and white one. Remember the one with found the tiny village or the tiny civilization? One of the
Mhm.
old black and white ones, and then he became a tyrant and a monster. And yeah, absolute power corrupts. Absolutely, that's trope.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is back to that era, isn't it?
I think so.
It's just done with modern, modern effects, using technology, and this is one of the only times I can forgive Digital Blood because he used it for the vision scenes, so it
Mhm.
fitted.
Yeah. It made sense, 'cause it was in their mind's eye.
Yep.
It wasn't real.
Yeah, so I can forgive at the end because it's in context,
Mm,
and then when they use the rest that look like practical effects, so just done well.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, okay, how does it rank compared to others? I would say the first one's the best because it was the original concept, even though I do have my issues with it. I just thought it could have been a bit faster paced. I would rank this one second because part two I thought was a bit overcomplicated, and I can barely remember. The devil made me do it. I think they were playing into the medieval horror, weren't they?
Yeah,
But it just felt like a bit of a rehash.
I could definitely agree. It's kind of this one is mid-range
Mm-hmm.
as far as, the first being the first because it's a lot of times, having that getting to know those characters right off the bat that just it's just endearing to us. So that's always I think always will be our my favorite.
Yeah,
And
because if
then
you didn't enjoy it, we wouldn't watch the rest. You know what I
mhm,
mean? So, like I said, the only thing was the pacing, but then maybe it needed that to introduce us to a brand new franchise, and maybe because we're starved of new franchises that everything else is a rehash.
mhm.
Maybe they needed just to ease us in gently with the Conjuring. Just here's something new. What's a new thing? I haven't seen a new thing in about 20
But if
years.
you
What?
if exactly, and I think we're just so used to the films of today. The older films, it took a long time for things to build, for the tension and things to build. It wasn't just like bam, bam, bam.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't timed out as much as the films are today. And I think maybe we got a little spoiled. So we were like wanting it to move faster for the first one.
Yep. But the atmosphere, I mean, like I said, I think that's the one I've watched the most. I still go back to that one.
Mm,
So that says it all, really. I
mm,
always say, like, it doesn't matter what your opinion. If you go and rewatch a movie, you like it,
yeah,
and if you rewatch it more than once, then it's a winner. And most movies today you don't. You watch it once and that's it.
yeah.
Um, I
And then
suppose.
if it's not a great movie, it doesn't stick and you forget the title, and then you'll start it again another time and be like, oh, I've freaking seen this.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Off. I don't know what your thoughts on this, Cat. I said at the start, like I said, I never got into the Warrens or never got into
Hmm.
that side of things. And also it's a foreign country, so I've no interest anyway, stuff happening over your side of the pond. What are your opinion? What's your opinion on this?
Well, I do know I have the book, but I haven't read it. I do love that in the film they mentioned that they didn't write a great book. I'm like, oh, great, I haven't read it, and I just bought it. But I do know that they are close to the original. I believe is the original Conjuring is the closest to being a true story. And this one is as well, but of course the details are going to be elaborated. I did find that I don't know who eventually got a hold of their collection because they sold it, the entire collection, to someone, and apparently one of the guys was traveling around the world with Annabelle,
Mm-hmm.
or another, was it maybe another haunted doll, and it didn't work out well for him. They found him dead, so they sold his their to someone, I'm not sure.
There's a bit at the end. This didn't they go to a museum? Didn't they set up an actual museum and or somebody did?
Not sure. Warren
Yeah,
Warren's Occult Museum.
I don't know if they had that or
They
this
did
was.
have it. It permanently closed to the public due to zoning regulations. Okay, this is what I have. The collection's artifacts were leased to comedian Matt Rife and influencer Elton Castay, who plan to eventually open the museum for tours and overnight stays at a new location. So that's what happened to all the haunted and paranormal things. It was
All right.
sold to these two, and hopefully they'll open the museum up and not play with things too much. Don't do it.
Well, we got another sequel. Um, God, do you know there's a series? I don't know if you remember this one, Friday the 13th, the TV series.
Yes. I love that
I
show.
can't find that.
Really?
I
Oh, I
can't
think
find
I
it.
have it on DVD.
I
Like,
can't find it at all. It's annoying me. I
mm,
want to revisit that on the channel. And I can't bloody find it. And I'm like,
oh. I love that growing up. I remember like the first time I watched it, expecting, Jason,
Jason,
and
yeah,
it had nothing to do with it, but I was so involved because each episode it was a different thing that they would collect and do exactly like The Conjuring. Exactly. They would
yeah,
take it, put it away
because
somewhere
that's
safe.
what I was thinking with the antique
Mhm.
store, or the Amicus movie from Beyond the Grave. I was thinking that, everything's haunted here, but
Mhm.
um,
And what was Freddy's Nightmares? That was another series.
oh,
Was that similar or no, that was
that's
very different?
terrible. That
I don't
was
remember that
MTV.
one.
Yeah, that was basically each episode was two stories. One involved Freddy, one was another one, like a creep show type thing.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't rewatch well.
Okay.
We
Good.
when was that? We did Freddy in film,
Oh,
Freddy
yeah.
Krueger in film, like stream and just covered the whole thing. And I tried to rewatch all that, and I was like, oh my god, this is bad. This is terrible.
Guess that's why it didn't last long. I think it might have only went like
E-
one season.
Everything went to pot after Nightmare on Elm Street 3 because MTV basically got involved, and it just.
Mm.
It's funny how MTV was a cultural phenomenon in the 90s. Now it's completely irrelevant.
Hmm.
Uh,
And there's not even music videos anymore?
that's all stupid reality stuff, isn't it? Couldn't even tell you what's on it now because it's like it's not even
No.
on my radar. But yeah, that was a thing at the time, and it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
No, but I really want to revisit that series again. I just think there's once again just simple storytelling again, and just
Yeah.
here's the cursed object. Here's how it curses people. Here's the problem solving aspect.
Mhm. It's your Scooby-Doo ghost of the week.
Yep.
Yay.
I'm thinking more MacGyver, but it's paranormal.
Nice.
Um, yeah, I like the way they wrap this up. I would like the scene where Ed throws the keys to Tony. Like, we knew that was coming a mile off, and he's
Yeah.
like, You've got to support her now. That this is your role." And the wedding scene was quite clever. Don't know if you twigged on, like James Wan sitting in the audience and all the characters from the previous movies.
Nice.
That was cool. Like,
Yeah, I liked it.
that's one of those. Okay, you get a sense then that everyone who's been involved in this franchise has a love for it, and actually enjoyed their experience. If you can get people back for the cameos like that, because it's not about money, I
Mhm.
think it sort of shows without telegraphing that you've got a good team here, that this franchise is well looked after and the people in it got invested. And I think that's why we enjoy it, because I think you need that when you see productions with divas and drama behind the scenes and people falling out and stuff, it becomes obvious.
Mhm.
So
I
just
mean,
that's
I believe like with raising any child,
mm,
like raising a franchise, it takes a village. You
hmm
can't just, sell it to one person and expect them to do it justice. It takes a community.
hmm yeah, and that's just that scene alone, giving a nod and wink and almost thanking everybody by bringing them all back. I just thought that was a clever way of just saying, yeah, we're done with this iteration. This sort of chapter's closed, but thanks everybody for taking part. I just thought it was
Mhm.
nice. Once again, it's nice to have a bit of positivity, isn't it? And just good feeling. And
Absolutely.
in all this world of just negativity and just nastiness all the time, it's just nice to have a bit of, oh, we all actually get on and enjoyed what we're doing and had a great time. And we all really appreciate it and glad to come back just for a minute, just to be part of it again. Like,
Exactly. Balance.
yeah,
Some balance. You got the terrifying and the warm fuzzies.
yeah. which is funny again because it's a horror movie that does that. Like romance doesn't do it anymore, comedy doesn't do it anymore. The heroic genres of action and sci-fi don't do it anymore. They just make you feel crap. But horror has to lead the way. So if you want to feel warm and fuzzy, watch a horror movie.
Yeah.
Where else would you get it?
I love it. It makes total sense
Uh,
when you think about how upside down the world is today.
yeah, that's what I mean. That's of course you have to go if you want a bit of I don't know positivity and like camaraderie. Go to a horror movie. Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
Hang
fantastic.
out with gore lovers.
Yeah, I just love that dichotomy. I'll never get bored of that. That the most
We keep it
stable
real.
people. Yeah, because
We're not all pent up. We let it out.
yeah, that's it. It's the catharsis, isn't it? It's the exploring the dark side of things releases
Mhm.
that part, so you're not sitting holding it up in the back of your head. So you're not worrying about being a good person. You know,
Mhm.
you are who you are. We accept that people are complicated and the world's complicated and it's not all fluffy and nice and it can't be. So
Mhm.
exploring the dark things when it goes wrong,
Things don't
sort of.
sneak up on us.
Yep,
The skeletons are out of the closet. They're hanging out.
yep. All the, there you go. That was fun. Any final thoughts on this one?
I enjoyed it. It was definitely a pleasure talking about it, and I hope more people get to enjoy it and that we get to see more awesome stories and more in the theaters, more horror.
Yep.
You
And I
never have
don't.
too much.
No, no, no. And I don't think this genre's finished.
Me neither.
No, especially with the announcement of the TV series. But I think there's going to be films that are going to have Tony and Judy taking the mantle. It's just we don't want a replication. No, I think when they need to bring something new to the table, new style or something, or she needs to have a different set of powers than her mother. Just
Yeah,
twist it
I
in her own
think
way.
that would make sense.
But a faith will do it. Like I said, I think James Wan is invested in this and he wants it to be right. And he just gives me I don't know, I've just got faith in him, as a creator.
Me too. I think he's amazing. I freaking I love Malignant. Like for me, that just was just amazing. I had to like run around and tell everybody, you got to see this movie. And that
Yeah,
was like
that's
during COVID, right?
mhm.
When like everybody was like, ah, I'm not going anywhere. Like, dang it.
Get out of the house. So what if you die? It's worth it. Do it. There you go. Horror rule number one: person running always falls. Yep, that's true. Walk slow and steady. Get there. Yeah, the search is never ending. Movies to watch, yeah, TV movies to watch. It. The search is never ending, and in between that and revisiting old stuff, it's about keeping the balance.
hmm
I mean, I like to throw some new releases in and see how it compares to the older stuff because it's not just I live in 1984 and that's it. Not that
Yeah.
sort of person. That'd be boring, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Kind of like I like to be with my music, I like to mix it up every now and
Yeah, and I like new stuff coming in too. And oh, here's my 10 CDs that I listen to and not listen to anything else. What sort of life's that to lead?
then. Right.
Yeah. But Cap, thanks as always for coming on. And of course, folks, check out Delight and Fright. What have you got coming up next?
Well, we have a Eric Mosher is an author that we're going to be talking to next week on Wednesday, 9/17, and we're going to be hosting a Spooky Empire Film Festival in Orlando, and
Oh,
that's going to
lovely.
be October 31st, November 1st and 2nd.
Are you going
You'll
to be live
find
streaming from that at any point?
Yes. So you'll see me in Orlando. I'll be cosplaying one day as Elvira, another day as someone else. Who
Mm-hmm.
knows? Surprise, surprise.
Or you're not going to do the convention thing? We wear the same costume for 4 days straight.
No,
You're not
no.
one of them people.
No, no. I
Uh,
got I got me a hotel room so I'm not stinky and yeah.
good drills. Never be that person, folks.
No, don't.
Showers are
Don't.
fun.
I even carry like a little deodorant stick, for the emergency touch-ups.
Yep, good plan. Yep. There you go. Link to Kat and Luna's channel is in the description, and it just leaves me to say, until next time, keep updated with the channel, do the type of tricky things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.